Here we are on the weighting tab, and all of our skills have come across from the skill builder tab, and they've come across onto the weighting tab so that we can start to weight them. You'll notice that the skill group titles are down here so we know what the skills refer to, and on the left here we've got our scale of 1 to 10. If you're looking to do a levels based rubric, then you need to go and open that file as opposed to this percentage based one. You've got your tutorial down the bottom here. You can go back home, which just takes you to the start page, and of course you can go back to the skill builder, and when you're ready you can actually generate the rubric or update the rubric. It doesn't really matter when you click that, but it makes sense to do that once you've completed as much of the rubric as possible. Alright, so to weight, I'm not going to go into the theory as to what you're actually doing when you're weighting. I'm just going to talk technically what you need to do to weight. If you want to learn more about the theory, check out, there's some other tutorials up on the YouTube channel. But technically to weight, you clicking a skill, you're cutting that skill, and you're pasting it in line with the scale point that you believe it is best, it is most indicative of, or it belongs with. So let's just weight a few of these here. You can also, of course, use the keyboard shortcuts Control X and Control V. So we've weighted the first column there, and of course you would weight the rest of the columns as well. So let's just jump ahead and do that. Okay, so I've weighted the rubric, and now it looks like this. You'll notice that the scale point is sticking to the left-hand side there. If that's not happening for you, just go to the View tab up the top. Go to Freeze Panes and freeze that first column. That way, no matter how far across you scroll in the rubric, you'll always know what it's lining up with. Now, before we update and generate the rubric, what happens if we want to change the name of one of these skills? How does that work? Well, we go back to the skill builder, and let's say we want to change the name of this one. We'll just do a silly thing just so it's really obvious. Orders the paragraphs. Well, and then what we need to do is click on this Update Changes icon, and it's going to tell us that we've made a change. You press OK, and because this is in beta mode, it's not going to change the skill up on the weighting. It's just going to paste it down here in this blue section, and what you need to do there is then cut that and paste it on top of the skill that was already in existence. So that's how you update the skills, just to put them in place as to where they are. If, as in turn, rather than changing the name of something, you actually delete something altogether, when you press Update Changes, you'll notice that it doesn't actually recognize that you've deleted a cell. It's something we're working on, but at this point, you'll just have to delete that yourself from the weighting tab. Okay, so there's a couple of things there. Changing the name of something, it'll recognize that, and you just need to cut and paste it from this new skills for weighting area. The fact that it's colored in is not going to affect anything, but if it really offends you, you can make it no fill by going to the Home tab and the paint bucket. And if you decide that you want to delete a skill altogether, you will have to go in and just delete that by yourself from wherever it was. Okay, so I think we're ready to update and generate the rubric. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're just going to click on this Update Generate Rubric button, and it'll just say, hey, you're totally ready to weight, and you say yes. And it'll go ahead and ask you how many VAS marks the rubric is out of. Now this is out of 30 VAS marks. Press OK, and it's going to take you to the Scoring tab. We'll go through the Scoring tab in another tutorial, but that's basically weighting. If you need to, when you're at this Scoring tab, if you need to go back and fix the weighting, you can still fix the weighting at any time. Click Update and Generate. It'll ask you again how many VAS marks it's out of, just in case that changes, and it'll take you back to that Scoring tab ready to make some changes there. So we'll talk about the Scoring tab in a different tutorial, but for now that's how you do the weighting.